Welcome to the Big Cat Lounge podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm KZ and I'm here with Big Cat Chad. Today's guest comes all the way from your local Cracker Barrel, and he's getting them cat reps in and ensuring always to remain an outlaw. Epic Nick is making them consistent gains on a daily basis to reach that inner big cat. We welcome Epic Nick to the Big Cat Lounge podcast.
There's a big cat. There's a big cat.
What's up, Chad? Did you write that intro, brother?
No, that was Kyle.
Nice.
I gave him some little bullet points.
Cool. I thought you didn't do outlines.
Yeah, Kyle Outlaw's mad we didn't give him an outline for our podcast. He didn't get our Outlaw wanted a syllabus and then a pop quiz. So at the end of this, we're gonna give him.
Chad forgot because he's like, oh yeah, I'll get you an outline. He didn't send it, so now he's saying that I'm mad that he forgot. So
I'm gonna
responsibility again.
I'm gonna call Miss Reedy and Miss Worley and then tell them that they need to give you a test.
In Spanish.
They need to test your Spanish fluency immediately.
Did you have Miss Worley?
Yeah, dude. You weren't in that class with me. You were in Miss Reedy's class with me.
Yeah, we were so bad.
Kyle, that was the rowdiest class
her.
in high school. Look, Kyle, let me tell you what happened one day. So our friend Raunch, the guy we call Raunch, all of a sudden, like now imagine so Spanish 1 can be a mix because you can have seniors, juniors, freshmen, and sophomores in that class, right? So we had some of the we had David West that was on the basketball team in that class, man. You know David West that played for the Warriors?
Oh, really? That's what's up.
Yeah, he was in that class with me and Nick, man.
Big cat.
That's a big cat, man. So anyway, so get this. So we're all just sitting there, and it's like, and look, Dave West talks a lot of shit. Like, he berates you. You got to be tough if you're around D West. So anyway, so imagine that's like the environment of the class. So all of a sudden we get over the intercom. Would you please tell Chris that his mother's gonna pick him out from up front after school this afternoon? Oh my God, he never heard the end of that, man. I think Outlaw was saying his mom was gonna pick him up and take him out for ice cream.
Oh no, I don't remember that. No wonder
You don't?
he hates me.
Oh my God, dude! No, everybody picked on him about. I mean, we gave him hell about that, but man, then we had some thing where Outlaw got all excited and somehow jumped so high he scraped his nose on the ceiling because our Spanish class was in one of those trailers, those makeshift trailer classes.
Learning cottages.
Yeah, learning cottages. So we were in our learning cottage. But dude, that was the rowdiest class. So could you imagine in 11th grade, somebody comes over to intercom, say his mother will be picking him up in front of school.
Dude, that class was stacked. The deck was stacked.
Dude, we had Parker Watson, David West, Jason Edwards. I can't even keep going. There's so many more, dude.
It's like an all-star of troublemakers, man. Of
God,
comedians and
Tomas, remember Head? Head was in that class.
Thank God for him, man. No one would ever pass, right?
Right, dude. Remember Rana? La Rana, the frog?
Dude, you got a good memory, man.
Can you believe I remember all this?
No, it's just a short-term memory there, right?
I got it all, baby.
It's that Ginkgo biloba.
Well, you know what? If I don't remember it short-term, I might remember it 10 years later.
You're on that. What nootropics are you taking since we're doing
nootropics? Yeah, nootropics. Maybe that's what we can talk about. I don't even know the definition of that.
It's supposed to be like a memory or cognitive enhancer type of supplement,
Oh, I'll take some. I'll take some, please. Are you running any Dude, are you telling what's the deal with testosterone and HGH? Did you ever tell your clients to do
that? No, I'm always go see your doctor. Go get a blood test. Go talk to a medical professional.
No, but I'm saying, like, do you say if their medical professional tells you to do testosterone or HGH, will you be like, yeah, do that if they say to?
Well, I'll give you an example. I've got a guy. He's a scientist, and he's very sedentary, right? He's got, or he has been, and so he's in front of the computer a lot. He was in the lab a lot. He's going for his second master's. He's working with like NASA on putting up like a certain ecosystems in space, like
Damn.
sustainable ecosystems. So he's a really brilliant guy, and his cholesterol is low. He's having he's about our age. I mean, he's probably 1 year older than us.
Okay.
And he's having sleep apnea. He's having a lot of health problems, but he knows.
Is he overweight? Is he overweight?
A little bit, but we've been working together. So fortunately, I was able to work with him on some Zoom calls over, the first few months when we were shut in, because I used to work with him back at Gold's, and he's like, "Hey man, I need your help." But anyhow, he was supposed to take testosterone shots when he went back after we worked together for just like a little over a month or so, and he started, he started living a healthier life and incorporating some of the healthy habits that he had done previously. So it wasn't as hard if he had just never done them before. But he just needed a little bit of help and a push in the right direction. And like his labs turned around, so he didn't need a testosterone shot. And there's things that we could do naturally to boost our testosterone.
So do you mind me asking what levels you increased his testosterone to and from naturally?
I did not ask for any numbers.
Oh, okay,
I didn't ask for any numbers. It just surprised me. He's like, "Yeah, I was gonna go get." He texted me this, but I just he's got more energy. He's not he's not depressed, and I mean it's he's he's sleeping better. And, they were potentially going to prescribe him like one of those sleep machines for sleep apnea.
God, that looks terrible. That looks like the most awful, like that looks like a jail sentence more than a prescription.
Yeah, and if you're 41 and you need one already, I mean, he wasn't like morbidly overweight or anything like that.
So what do you know about? Let me tell you something interesting. So a guy calls in the other day, starting up a stem cell therapy.
Stem cell?
He's claiming that for $5 to $12 grand, he can inject stem cells into your injury, your joint, your arthritis pain, or whatever, and claims in 6 months, in most cases, it'll be like healed.
But
I don't know about tears. Like I don't know about muscle tears, ligament tears, or anything like that. Because I didn't really get into that with him. But he says it's a one-time treatment. If you get it once and then you never come back again.
Yeah, now, I know. Of course, I've had two clients that get that. There's one that gets it that went and has gotten it locally from a prestigious and a well-known doctor in the area. Now his reaction to it and his acceptance of the stem cells was a lot more successful than the guy that I know that went to Mexico to save about $10,000 to get it done.
Well, it can take a long time for it to fully take effect, like 6 to 12 months, right?
Yeah, from what I've read and understand, but also like it depends where are they getting the stem cells from.
I think they're getting it from the individual. I'm pretty sure they're I didn't get into it with him because he kind of called in, I didn't have a set appointment. He kind of caught me off guard,
Yeah.
So I was kind of in my car or something, I think,
Mel Gibson's dad, he was on the Joe Rogan podcast maybe 2 years ago, and he's made some like tremendous gains like cognitively and physically from doing and the guy's not in the US that his dad's seeing because he was saying that they use from I think maybe placenta stem cells, or they get the stem cells from a different source.
Yeah, that's the controversial ones where it's like embryo or placenta or whatever it is.
Yeah,
because I think if you keep your own, I think we know it now, but I think if you can keep your umbilical cord from the time you're born, I think you can regenerate those stem cells for your body. You ever heard that?
Yeah, I think we did something like that with the girls when they were born. Kept cells from the.
Oh, really? Okay, so it's like a common practice now.
Yeah, because I think the idea is if they develop complications later on when they're older, if they ever need them, then they'll have them there.
Now,
It's
now the other
not that cheap either.
now the other interesting client I talked to one time was a hyperbaric chamber. They've got this. I don't know if you know much about it, but they've got this set up in Durham out there off. I can't think of the road, but right near Amazon warehouse. What's that? WT Alexander.
Oh, there's another one out there too.
Well, he's got it to where like you can do a dive like up to 8 people can do a dive at one time. So like you don't have to like pay to get like the full like $4 or $5 grand. Like he's selling like a 1 or 2 hour, like a 1.5 hour dive at whatever atmosphere they go down to. She said it. I can't remember what it was.
I know that Josh Hamilton had one here locally with his stepdad. But it's you're supposed to heal faster, right?
Well, they say if you can get in it after a concussion or a major injury, and then even people suffer from like long-term pain, disabilities, like they supposedly they see a big turnaround. But I don't know if they're like pumping fresh. They take you down to whatever atmosphere below sea level, and then like they pump fresh oxygen into you, and it's like a 45 to an hour, 25-minute dive, from what I understood.
Yeah, the question is like what's the success rate, and how often does a typical person need to go
honestly, it's probably going to depend on what the injury is and your underlying condition. Is just like everything else. It's going to be like person to person. But I heard for concussions, if you can actually get an athlete in there that had a concussion, because like athletes have that in their house. Yeah. But I heard if you can get an athlete right after a concussion or right after any kind of trauma, it heals open wounds as well. So you can go in there with like, I don't know how they do that with social distance, but if it's cool to be wrapped up, or you don't have to have it exposed. But I know you can do it with open wounds as well.
Were you guys familiar? Because you said concussion, and I just saw something the other day about concussion. And are you guys familiar with HRV, heart rate variability? That's one of the big new biomarkers. It's been around for a while, but it's something that you can measure. You can do it very inexpensively. You got wearables now, like they go around your wrist, like Whoop, I think is the name of it. And you've got a guy out of Asheville who's got Elite HRV, where it's an app, and you could use a Polar 10 chest strap monitor. But what it does, it measures your heart, the balance between your parasympathetic and your sympathetic nervous system. So if you're stressed out, the higher your heart rate variability, the better your nervous system, the balance between the two is supposed to be, because you're able to switch between the two back and forth to an extent. Now, everybody needs to get their own individualized baseline of heart rate variability. And speaking of that, you remember Tammy from Garner, Tammy Mays? She's no longer Tammy now, but she's got her own business in Cary, and she does it. I've actually been seeing her for a while.
How long is that test?
Well, you could do your own heart rate variability with a heart rate monitor. Like I said, they got an Oura ring that you could wear around your finger.
I see.
But she does it clinically, so it's going to be a lot more accurate, and she can give you a better prescription of like, here, this is what you need to do specifically.
Tell me what she told you needed. Tell me what she told you needed to do. Or is that too personal?
No, I mean, it's kind of common. There's called resonance frequency. If you look at the average person, for you to get your breath synchronized with your heart, and also like your emotions and your mindset, there's a typical, I might be messing this up, but from my understanding is it's typically 4.5 to 6.5 breaths per minute average. So she has me breathing in for 4, pause for 1, out for 4, pause for 1. And I use a Breath Plus app. You could buy the non-commercial app for like $3.99, and it makes a big difference. And just my ability to concentrate, my ability to focus, recover. If you have an injury and you're in pain, your HRV most likely is going to be lower. If you
Yeah.
improve your HRV, if you
Huh.
improve your HRV level or reading, your pain, you could eliminate it or at least minimize it from just training to improve your HRV.
So what was this
And
frequent resonance frequency training?
breathing frequency. I think it's
Hmm.
resonance frequency, but also is it KZ?
Yep.
So him and I earlier were talking about the gut, right? So
Oh,
you've
okay.
got a cranial nerve that goes from your brain down to your gut. You know, like I got a gut
Okay.
feeling.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
you got the
Yeah.
second
Yeah.
brain in your gut. It's
Yeah.
called the
Yeah.
vagal nerve. And so that vagal nerve communicates to the brain. It sends feedback both directions, but it also goes to all your organs. And the vagal nerve, if you got vagal tone, then you're probably going to have a healthier gut biodome, and you're going to have
Yeah.
you'll be more resilient when it emotionally and well-rounded.
Do you got any way to treat fibromyalgia sufferers?
I'm sure I haven't seen the research, but I would not be surprised if HRV training would not improve fibromyalgia. Because that's one of the latest research things I was reading on that. I know exercise helps. Exercise helps everything. You know, the stronger you get, the more resilient you're going to be.
It's true.
That is true.
So, I mean, it takes, KZ and I were talking about that, you know, anything that's ever worth it takes a lot of effort,
Well,
it
Nick,
takes a lot of energy and time.
Well, what was weird, Nick, is so like when I started going back to the gym about a year ago, I started doing like 5x5 squats, and I had like a little weird injury in the back of my knee, right? But man, after about 3 or 4 weeks, I didn't even feel that anymore. I was fixed just from like doing squats and working out and stuff.
Yeah, you kept it moving, and you weren't like trying to grind through the injury. You're probably repositioning and strengthening around it. You know, a lot of people, if they get injured, like, oh, I just can't do anything.
Well,
But
no,
that's not true.
I started really, really, really low and got my form down until I did.
There you go.
Because you have to get that, one little wrong move on squats. Because I'd gotten up to where I could get like 2 plates and more on each side, and then I was like, at that point, I was like, unless I eat like 4,000 calories or something a day, I'm not really gonna be able to progress that much. And I really didn't want to do that, so it was like almost scary at that point, you know.
I'm starting to get those tree trunks, those legs, man. We're starting to grow roots.
Yeah, you don't want to have You don't want to have those prison legs.
Today's sponsor is Anchor FM app. Go download the free Anchor app today to get started. You can find it at your Play Store or App Store. It's everything you need to make a podcast, and it distributes everything for you so it can be heard on multiple platforms such as Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, and many more. This is what I'm currently using right now to edit and record my podcast, and you can do so from your phone or computer. And the tools are really easy to use to help document the Big Cat Lounge journey. So what are you waiting for? Go today and download it.
Just curfew again tonight, huh? 8 o'clock.
I think so. Yeah, I'm in Charlotte, so I think it's very similar as Raleigh too.
Okay, gotcha. How do you guys know each other?
Through Nilesh, if you remember Nilesh, but pretty much just playing basketball, out at Trinity in Raleigh.
Okay, did I meet you a couple years ago, maybe downtown after the Duke and Carolina game?
You may have met me like once, maybe briefly.
Okay, did you used to live in Raleigh?
Yeah, I used to live in Raleigh for 4 years. Yeah, and then I've been in Charlotte now since August. It's not too long.
Cool. And so you're working for Bank of America?
No, but Wells Fargo, but same. Yeah, just different bank.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Chad said it was Bank of America.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter. Just pick an institution. It don't.
Cool. How, are you guys up and running, having customers back in the bank, or?
I think it really depends on the locations. For us at least, well, like I'm helping like automate reg reporting, so I'm not essential. I don't need to be in the office. But a lot of the locations they've reduced their locations, so I think they may just have like drive-throughs and some branches here and there. Maybe if you do appointments ahead of time, but they don't have typically like you'd have 9 to 5. They don't have it open unless you have an appointment.
Okay, yeah, we're because our personal account's through Wells Fargo, but my business account is through Truist, or it used to be BB&T, I guess now.
Yeah, now they
transition. And I haven't been able to get inside the bank with everything going on, and
yeah.
But I mean, it's just it's hard to talk to somebody at Truist at this point. I've left several messages with the the loan officer and everything.
Okay. Yeah, man.
But I know it's just kind of like new times.
Yeah, it is. It's you can't see a person anymore, so you gotta talk to like 4 or 5 other people on the phone. The way it works with just even getting a hold of the right department, it's pretty frustrating.
Yeah. I'd been transferred, I think 3 or 4 times, and then called back, and they're like, yeah. At one point, they're like, no, you have to go into the branch and show your ID. I guess I gave them the wrong answer. I'm like, well, I just talked to somebody here. And no one's in the branch for me to show my ID.
Yeah. So how long you've known Big Chad for?
We went to high school together, man. Might have even known him before then.
Wow.
Because we both grew up in Garner, and that's a good question. I don't know if we go back to middle school or not, because there was 2 big middle schools in Garner when we were growing up. It was East and North. So not East and West, but East and North. We had that. We played rec basketball, and we had a class together in high school where we cut up. I think it was AP history.
Yeah.
And I think we were the only ones that didn't really take the AP exam for college credit because we were too busy cutting up, getting kicked out of class.
That's so funny. Yeah, you're just taking it, and you're like, yeah, fuck that. I'm not taking the exam. Why do I need to take that?
Yeah, I'd much rather take a much easier college history class if I had to take it. It'd have been nice if it just wasn't. It was just too time consuming to like get a high enough score.
It truly is. Those AP classes, they condense it, and it's really that's so much material, and it just comes to a point you're just like memorizing, and it's like 2 days later, do you really remember what you memorized? Probably not.
Yeah, and I wasn't that. I mean, I was decent at self-study, but like I wasn't that disciplined to miss going out with friends when I had the free time. I'd do the homework and make decent grades, but not good enough to miss out on some of the social occasions.
Yeah. So you've been in Garner, I guess, your whole life, right? You've seen tremendous growth there. I mean, Raleigh, but I'm sure Garner, it probably was like a lot smaller, or it's probably just absorbing all the people in the area, right? Just expanding.
Yeah, they've grown quite a bit. They've got 2 high schools now, and my parents still live there. And my brother, he moved out a little bit further from Raleigh into Clayton. Clayton, I think, seems to be growing faster. Garner.
Yeah, Garner, yeah.
And my parents still live there. They've got 2 high schools, and they've got the White Oak Shopping Center, which is pretty big because it's near 440 area. They've got the new Amazon warehouses.
Yeah.
Like a huge military base out there.
Yeah, their locations is prime. It's prime, man. I mean, they have to. 1 hour, 2 hour, same day. They're making really big moves out here.
Yeah, I think they're probably one of the only, a couple of the only few big companies that actually got positive growth over the pandemic.
Yeah, right. They're hiring, and they're hiring a lot. Like Walmart's hiring a lot, Target's hiring a lot. So it's like, if you're looking for those types of jobs, you should be able to find it. But then the other niche industries, they're the ones that are still suffering. Like all the consultants and contractors, like they may be in for some they can't find any work really. I mean, you're not gonna have a project just for like enhancements or just for fun. I mean, that has to be a business need, and they don't want to have consultants and contractors. They rather just have the permanent employee, right? That's just what makes sense. It's just you're throwing away money.
Yeah, that makes sense. Crazy. Who
It's
knows,
crazy
man?
times, definitely. Yeah,
It's,
like for you, I guess, do you have to, with what you do you have to communicate a lot through like the phone, or can you still like have like FaceTime, or you need to see the person? Like, how are you able to interact?
yeah. Hey, awesome. We've been able to do like Zoom and FaceTime a lot.
Yeah.
And then with the order, he says that indoor fitness facilities are closed. Although restaurants are open, grocery stores have been open, Target's been open, like you said, the whole time. Liquor stores been open the whole time. Salons just opened up before we could. I mean, the gym that I operate in is a smaller size studio. It's about 2,000 square feet. You know, rounding it up instead of rounding it down. But we only have like a few customers, clients, patients in there at a time, and so it's been disappointing that there hasn't been any better guidelines, and exceptions instead of just grouping all indoor fitness facilities together. It's just been like a rub in the face, like, hey, prevention is not important. It just seems like it's becoming less and less important.
Yeah.
It's always been less important, less regulated. You don't need a license to do it, or there's all these different certifications that you can get to do it. There's some nationally accredited, but there's no licensure. You don't have to sit for an exam like you do for massage therapy or athletic training, which would help a lot, I think, the industry, because it would weed out a lot of the Instagram trainers that have great genetics and they do some dangerous things and ineffective things that would hurt most people and have like zero education in it. And they're giving advice on nutrition and health, and people follow it blindly.
That's like the thing, right? Just these influencers, people just think that, just because they're an influencer, they're really promoting something that's, research, but it's not. They're getting paid, so they're just doing a quick video, and they didn't do any research, or if they did, they don't care to educate the consumer. So
yeah, it's funny. I did see a video a few months back that somebody did as a prank just to see if they would do it. They went to the influencers, and it was a product that didn't even work, and it was almost obvious that they were joking. But they're like, hey, here, we'll pay you to promote this. They didn't even try it out. They just started promoting it without without even looking into the product or trying it out. They're just like, sure, I'll promote it. And they were filming them, promoting the product without even knowing really what it was. But
that's the thing, right? Like, you gotta at least try it out before, like, there's a certain level of trust. I mean, sure, people get away with it easily on social media, but like, if you have that core inner trust and you're trying to promote something that you don't even know about, eventually your credibility will be questioned upon eventually. Like, especially with what you do, like you have your clients that trust you. They're willing to pay what is necessary to get the results that are necessary, but that's why they trust you. But like other people that are promoting things that are just, questionable, you just got to wonder, like, why are people doing this?
Yeah, quick fix. Everybody wants that magic bullet that, something that will keep them from having to put in the hard work and the effort. But I think deep down everybody knows, because most people that's accomplished anything in their life have realized that it takes a lot of effort, and everybody wants a shortcut. It's very appealing to want to be able to get there a lot easier than that it takes to get there. Like, because most of the time it feels like you're sacrificing, I can't eat this, I can't eat that, instead of I don't like to eat this, I like to eat healthy because it feels good. It still tastes good. I like healthy food tastes good. Instead of us having that internal conversation, it's more like, I can't have that. Dang. So it's coming from a a place of deprivation.
Yeah.
Versus, like a place where you feel like you're making the choice not to do it because you know that you feel better and you're better off without it.
Yeah. Do you find it's better to just like know what your meals are ahead of time than to leave it to thought? Because when you start, thinking like, oh, what should I eat? What should I do? Then you're tempted to eat bad food. Or then you may be like, oh, I saw that commercial on TV, and then you go and get that fast food. So it's really like a lot of it, I think you need to prepare ahead of time. You need to know so that you don't have to think about it.
Yeah. And instead of like the quick fix, like I'm going to take this supplement and that's going to do everything for me to lose weight, because that's most people want to lose weight and get ripped or toned, keywords that everybody's going for. If you do, the best way to do it that they found research wise of hundreds of thousands of people that's lost weight and kept it off, there's of course some fluctuations, but of all the people that have successfully done it have followed a handful of habits. And so the way that they've done it, like you probably have some go-to healthy meals that are really easy that you really don't have to think about, and everybody's got at least a handful of healthy meals that they can, go get or make that's little to any mental energy. Like, that I don't know if you've heard about Steve Jobs, he wore the same outfit every day, or, the founder of Facebook, they take the decision away so they don't have to think about it. They could save their energy for bigger, more important decisions.
True.
Because they start to get decision fatigue. So if you've got one or two healthy meals, you can go ahead and start preparing that. And then each week, for a couple weeks, try an additional healthy meal that you've always wanted to try to make yourself. I think everybody, that's a skill needs to have, is to be able to prepare food, because it's always going to be healthier. You're going to know what's going in it, and you'll surprise yourself. Because, I mean, if I sold food, I would put things in it that I knew people would crave,
Yeah,
things like fat, sodium, sugar. It just sells more. But then there are healthy options when you go out. If you look at the menu beforehand, even if you get fast food, there are healthier options. You could usually find a salad at any fast food place.
Yeah, you can. But I guess now more so than ever, it's like you got to get curbside. I mean, things are opening up, but it's still, when there's curfews in place, and if you have to work, 9 to 5, 9 to 6, and then you got to wait 2 hours to get groceries, that may cause some problem.
Yeah. So, I mean, if it's a lot of people will do it on the weekend, and that will get them through midway through the week. I mean, you could also get Tupperware containers. You don't have to be like the stereotypical meathead where they got the Tupperware, they're carrying it everywhere with them with their gallon jug of water and branched chain amino acids. You don't have to be that guy, but there's, you could do it your own way. Like, you could have the pre-portioned Tupperware that snap. You could bring it in your cooler. If you make a bunch of meals on Sunday, that's a lot of people's prep day. And, you can make 6, 9, 12 meals at one time, freeze the ones, that you're eating later in the week. But that will at least get you halfway through the week. And then you got some takeout that's pretty healthy, and that puts you don't have to eat perfect all the time, but like 80-90% rule if you're looking to be healthy and be at a healthy weight.
Yeah.
And there's other things like, eating slowly, eating to when you're 80% full, that can make a big difference. If you've never done that and you do that, and you get into the habit of always eating slowly and mindfully, you're gonna stop before you get just sick. It's easy to overeat.
Yeah, it is. And sometimes, big cats feel like they have to eat at a buffet, but you have to refrain yourself.
Yeah, there's a lot less people wanting to eat at a buffet after COVID now.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm wondering if Golden Corral is going to stay open. But
Right, yeah,
I guess
that's the thing. Like, well, I mean, there was always a need. I mean, people are still probably ordering curbside, I'm sure, but yeah, you're right. Like, they were probably doing amazing numbers before. I don't know how they're doing now.
yeah, you could always fill up on vegetables, but again, Golden Corral, I bet you they're cooking things and a ton of butter. They want it to taste good, and they're cheap, probably using cheap oil, so they make their margins are as high as they can get them. They're probably not using avocado oil to cook stuff in, or they're not using grass-fed butter, and they're not using turmeric, and they're not using cayenne pepper, they're not using curry powder, and all those magical seasonings or spices that you've seen all these power foods written about just because it has to be sensational
Yeah.
to get people's attention.
Yeah, they say a lot of the health problems they just reside in the gut itself. Like I think it's like 80% or something like that. Today's quote is the biggest risk is not taking any risk by Mark Zuckerberg.
Well, tell Nick's
Right.
yesterday. Tell Nick's yesterday's quote. I really like that one. It says, Mother Teresa. It says, "If you want to change the world, go home and change your family." Classic.
Yeah.
Mother Teresa.
It starts with you.
It starts with you. So okay,
What
man.
did Tupac said in the Changes song? That was probably one of my. He's always has good quotes too.
He really does, man. You don't find them like him and Biggie anymore, man. You remember that's when this is when me and Nick used to chill, Kyle, when we were listening to Biggie and Tupac and Mob Deep. Look, but our high school was really confused. Our Caucasian community was very confused at our school because they would drive jack-up pickup trucks with rebel flags on the front and whip antennas and toolboxes and wore tight jeans and Wranglers, and then you'd hear them. Then they'd pull up playing like Bone Thugs and Harmony, like blaring it.
Hey, you got to do what you got to
Yeah.
do.
No lie. I can't make this up.
It's true. It's true. Many
But
influences.
Garner's not too racist, man. Garner, I mean, everybody's kind of back then. Everybody was just kind of chill with each other back then, really.
Yeah, I was proud.
There wasn't a whole lot of racial
class,
tension.
yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot
No,
of racial tension at our school at all.
No, we really got along, man, and that's why I wish that you would have went to our 20th
I know.
class
I
reunion,
couldn't
man.
make it.
Everybody
I
got
wish
along
too.
out of our class, and dude, I would love for our class to like get together and sit down and just
I know.
talk about what's going on right now, because it's I figure that we all love each other and want to come together on this,
Well, that's what the world's missing is love. It's like I think a lot of these younger kids, they look up to Instagram influencers and rappers and violent movies, and that's what they know. They don't really know God and love much anymore. It's almost
They just
our youth. I mean, I don't know how Me Too and Time's Up and all them have given rappers a pass with their lyrics. I mean, eventually, I think they have to go after the rappers on their lyrics. I mean,
Yeah. Well, speaking of lyrics and rappers, have you guys heard that? It's a new Nick Marlick turned me on to the song by it's Will. Forgot the guy's name, but Will Smith gets on the track
Oh yeah.
with him. I'll tell you right now. I was playing it earlier.
I don't know. Kyle don't really listen to a lot of mainstream stuff. He likes all that. He likes to. He likes the
Joyner
good
Lucas.
underground.
The guy's name's Joyner Lucas, and he does a
Joyner Lucas,
Will track.
Yeah, that's a good
And
track.
then
That's a good track. They did a good thing together, a good collaboration. It's pretty good. They've been back and
Nice.
forth doing stuff together. Joyner Lucas and Will Smith. So it's pretty cool to see them collaborate.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I guess I'd heard Joyner Lucas on an Eminem song. I was like, yeah, Lucky Lucky You featuring Joyner Lucas. And I was like, okay. When he mentioned him, I was like, I think I've heard about him before.
Yeah.
on that track.
Nick, do you still freestyle?
It's been a long time.
So this is funny, guys. So Nick, when I was younger, like we had a couple friends that lived in my neighborhood. So like Nick and other people would just come stay at our house, and we'd all kind of chill, you know. But like I remember one time, me and Nick did these. We were in like 6th or 7th grade. Like this is straight up when you had the phone book and the yellow pages if you wanted to call somebody. So we would look these girls up in class and like find out their number and like prank call. Do you remember prank calling and telling them we were from the International Church or whatever?
Maybe.
Do you remember that?
No. Dude, yeah. I remember we called so many people.
We would just prank call all weekend, and then it's funny because then you'd go back in there on Monday and see the girls. It's like, did you get a call from so and so this weekend?
Yeah, and they're like, I think it was. They had no clue it was us.
Yeah, they're like, oh my God, that was you.
No, they thought it was like some other.
They really did. Oh, we really had them tricked, dude. It was so funny. I mean, this was 6th or 7th grade, but the point I was trying to make too is you would literally look these people up in the phone book.
You could call them from a payphone. You could actually call from a payphone too.
Look, what's funny is this store by me has a payphone, and several times I've seen people get out of their car and take a selfie by us. Like it's
you could still do thing. You could still do a transaction, man, like the wire through there.
Good morning, Big Cat Freestyle. It's been a hot minute, been a while. Sorry to make you guys wait. I know you guys have been anticipating. Stronger than a microwave, but that quick. It's Epic Nick on the track. No need to diss. My gifts speak for themselves. If I sold records, they'd be coming off the shelves. No need to. You could download this. I'll post it on YouTube, too, just for you. Nonstop on TikTok. This shit rocks. Sorry, didn't mean to curse, Will Smith. It's a gift, not a curse. Hope you guys have a great day. You're worth it.
In 2002, today, June 2nd, The Wire aired on HBO.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, the first episode, huh?
Yeah.
Really?
Episode.
Yeah. Chad, you were the man. You're the guy that actually told me to watch it, man. I was holding out for so long. I'm like, but I finally downloaded them all and watched them all.
Well, I didn't even get to watch. I didn't even start watching The Wire until they'd already done season 3 or 4. I was real late on that. But dude, as soon as I watched it, I was hooked, and I told everybody.
Yeah, I need to go back and watch it because I forgot everything. That
I do too, man.
Method Man's on there.
Well, I remember one time, the cops were the cops had a snitch, and they were gonna go do a drug deal or whatever, and the gang members had went and switched all the street signs. So, the cops were like, "We're on so and so and so and so," and they were telling the wrong streets. It was pretty slick.
Yeah.
And then of course they killed the snitch.
Yeah. They just had to, right? It's part of the plot, right?
Exactly. Well, gentlemen, today's been a cluster bag because this protest has got Hillsborough Street shut down. You can't really drive anywhere, but I feel bad. I want to do this again, but my sister's texting me and want me to pick her up from the rally. Her and her friend from the rally. So we got a couple more minutes, but in a few, I got to go get her from the rally.
She's going to get arrested if you don't get her before 8 o'clock, man.
But Outlaw, we want you to call and do some characters or prank calls or something, man. Would you come on the show sometimes and do skits
Isn't that the Jerky Boys?
Yeah, because here's some examples. We got one person going to do calls with scammers. So he's going to record when telemarketers call him, and he's going to fuck with them.
I love doing that. That's one of my favorite things to do. They get so mad when I do that to them.
Well, why don't you do that? Why don't you could contribute? We could just have a segment called prank calls with scammers or calls with scammers.
How do you record them? I'm
not really sure. I'm not really sure. I was trying to figure that out, how you would record.
That will need to figure out, yeah.
That's the only thing I'm missing. Is you're going to have to record it when you do it somehow.
We're gonna have to like get a 3-way conference call or something.
Yeah, something like I wish we could podcast live as soon as you get this guy on the phone. But we don't have to have it live. We could record it and edit it and stuff. But yeah, dude, I don't know if that's funny or not funny, but I think done well, like people would be rolling on that. Like another example, like you know the Biden story about corn pop?
About what?
Have you ever heard of corn pop? The Biden story about corn pop? Oh gosh, you gotta watch that. Like Biden's up at a community pool, or no, Biden's telling a story about being at a community pool, and he may have been at that same pool, and he was like, "I got hairy legs. My legs are real hairy." He was like, "I used to sit in the edge of the pool, and kids would come up and rub their hands up and down my legs because they're hairy." And it's like, and he's like, and it's like, then he's like, I got in a tussle one time with this real bad dude named Corn Pop. It's like he was one of them real bad dudes. He was like, this was back then when you take a razor blade and put it in a rusted barrel and get it all rusted out. Like put. And he goes,
good Lord.
And he goes, so I told Corn Pop he needed to not do that on the diving board. And then Corn Pop said I disrespected it. So Corn Pop asked me to step outside, and then he said he got a chain and scared Corn Pop off or something. And then then at the very end, he said, I love kids sitting in my lap. You never saw that? Hey, what's your favorite conspiracy theory, man? Do you have a favorite besides Epstein? Do you have a favorite conspiracy theory that's not Epstein?
I have not heard the Epstein one when it comes to the corona.
Oh, there's several Epstein ones, man.
Dude, tell me, please.
Nah, you know the rumors that he's not really dead and that he really got out and he's alive.
Oh, I'd believe that, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would not believe it. The dude had a lot of money. Shit, you could pay. I mean, he got out of they killed him in the facility that keeps El Chapo. I mean, like, that ain't like minimum security. That ain't like Butner. That ain't like Butner out here just chilling.
Yeah, why wouldn't you if you were that wealthy? Why wouldn't you give somebody a bunch of plastic surgery, make them look like you, dress them up for the public? Yeah. Like here,
look, do you want to hear the protest rumors that people were dropping off pallets of bricks?
I heard about that. You know what? You know what pisses me off the most is the videos I've seen of white kids out there spray painting and causing destruction because they're hurting the cause, man, for the African Americans. It pisses me off. Did you see the video with John Jones? Like these, he's like, "Give me the spray bottle, give me the spray can, give me the spray can." And it's like this white guy with a mask on. He takes the spray can from him. John Jones is a bad motherfucker, dude.
Dude, the white kids were the ones mainly yelling at the police out there.
Dude, they need to. They're the ones that are causing the trouble, man. And they're making it harder for like a resolution, you know, like a comment, like to make things better, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
they're just looking from like not even where they're not even coming from like their city. They're coming like hours away, 2 hours away, coming in groups and vans.
I mean, Nick, I went out Saturday morning, Nick, and there was 100, like it looked like a hurricane zone. I went out at 8 in the morning, and everybody was out there cleaning their business, windows knocked out. I mean, all up and down 3 streets, Fayetteville, Wilmington, and Blount.
I told you I walked downtown. I called you on Sunday.
Oh, you did. That's right. Yeah, but I wasn't
going to go all the way down.
Yeah, but like that you didn't see what it looked like Saturday, because they had everything cleaned up by noon. But like what it looked like at 8 a.m.
The jewelry store got broken into. Reliable.
Oh yeah.
Dude, did they take all the jewelry?
I don't think they took anything the first night because it looked like they had bashed it in, but there was still jewelry in there.
Okay.
But you know, the professional criminals and stuff can easily get this stuff. Well, gentlemen, I hate to do it, y'all, but my sister needs me to go pick her up. I'm so sorry.
Can't you drive? Can't you still talk to us while you're driving?
Well, yeah, I guess I can if you want me to break the law.
Hey, man, you do it all the time.
Chad's going to blaze 1-2 while he's driving.
Hey, you got 6 minutes, then you breaking the law.
What's your favorite flower strain, my boy? Do you do any CBDs or recommend CBDs to your clients?
Like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, when the CBD, you couldn't even get it on Amazon. I was just trying it out because, like, to help me sleep and
I got
anxiety.
sick. I took it and I started feeling like I had the flu every time I took it. My throat started hurting and shit. It was weird. What were you saying now? Go ahead.
No, I tried it, and I found some
Now,
that
how
helped
did
me
you how
sleep,
did you how did you ingest it? The tincture, the gummy, the smoke,
just
or the vape?
it was like a drop.
The tincture.
Just a
Okay.
drop.
What were you saying? Sublingual or whatever. Okay, go ahead.
But I didn't. I mean, it helped me sleep for a while, but I had to take a lot, like way more than they said they suggested.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for it to help me sleep. So now I'll just do magnesium to help me sleep.
Magnesium?
And, it helps relax your muscles, and if you're stressed too, you start to burn minerals in your body too.
What amount of magnesium, if you don't mind me asking?
I try to get about 500 milligrams. About 500 milligrams.
Well, hey.
No, but I've tried it all. I'm almost like I usually try to experiment with things before I prescribe them or recommend them, to clients. So I don't want to recommend something that I don't believe in. Like, you and I were talking about the influencers. If I don't read up on it, I don't research it, I don't try it, I can't really.
Big Cat. Well, thank you so much for listening to the Big Cat Lounge podcast. Thank you, Epic Nick, for coming on the show. If the viewers want to hear more about you, where can they find you?
You can find me on Outlaw Fit on Instagram. You can find us on Prime Raleigh on Instagram. That's our studio gym, and you can find us Prime Raleigh on Facebook as well.
We are accepting applications if you think you have what it takes to be a big cat and be a guest on the show. Email us at bigcatlounge@gmail.com. Thank you for listening to the Big Cat Lounge podcast. Hope to see you soon.